Hi there, my name is Felmi Falonshaw, the head of 100 Women, the Women's Desk of SME 100 Africa. 100 Women is an organization that helps empower and impact the lives of women, focused on everything women and empowerment. We do events, training programs, mentorships, and also lives and discussions on things related to women. We also have our annual International Women's Day conference every year. Now, in commemoration with the UN Orange Day, which is to raise awareness for violence against women and girls, we have had a sit-down discussion of some representatives of 100 Women to actually talk about this gender-based violence against women. So I hope that you gain so much from this discussion.
Hello everyone,
Hello.
welcome to 100 Women. I am Toferati, and with me here is Tifel Nipade. So today we'll be talking about gender-based violence against females. That's against the women and girls. And on Wednesday, which is the 25th of May, it was the Orange Day. It's a day dedicated by the UN specifically to raise awareness against the gender-based violence against females and girls. So in respect to that, that's why we have moved this program to today to talk about it, to shed some light against the gender-based violence, its forms, its manifest, and of course to enlighten ourselves and what to do in situations like that. So Tiffy, how are you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you doing?
Fine, thank you. So thank you all for joining us today.
Thank you.
So shall we proceed? Hope
Sure.
you're good. Hope you're ready for the show.
Well, I'm fine. No, the topic is very sensitive, but
Yeah.
we're ready.
So, trigger warning.
All right, just a quick trigger warning for anyone who is a survivor of sexual assault and violence. This topic might be a bit sensitive to you and your experience so far. So if you're not comfortable with this topic, you might just skip ahead or not watch this video, or just have the mind that we're going to be talking about some sensitive stuff today.
Above all, we just want you to feel relaxed. We want
Yes.
you to feel welcome.
Yes.
We want you to feel most comfortable. And then to see this as an avenue to be more enlightened about what is actually going on around the females and how to best handle situations like that,
Yes.
if there is need be for that. So let's actually talk about sexual violence.
Okay.
So before we proceed, actually, there are different forms of violence against the women and girls. But for today, we'll be talking about sexual violence and harassment, as well as the female genital mutilation. So let's start with the first one, which is of course sexual violence.
Yeah.
So like, when you hear sexual violence, what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear it? Like the picture you paint when you hear sexual violence, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? I think personally to me, any sort of sexual activity
Yes.
that does not include consent
Yes.
is a violence on its own.
Verbal consent or written
Verbal?
consent.
Physical, emotional, in as much as it's just you taking advantage of the other person.
Yes.
And then of course there's the literal thing you have to do when it comes to actually having anything sexual to do with another gender is to seek for consent. In as much as the consent is missing, then that's where violence comes in.
Yeah.
So let's actually talk about the forms of sexual violence.
Yeah. So we have 4 main common forms of sexual violence, which is sexual harassment, human trafficking, intimate partner violence, female genital mutilation, and child marriage.
Whoa. I think all of these sections are actually very, very sensitive areas.
Yes.
But so today would only just base on 2. And I think furthermore, the next show perhaps we could talk about the rest.
Yes.
So let's actually talk about the most common form, which is
Yeah.
rape.
Yeah.
So like, just tell us about rape.
All right. So according to me,
Okay?
or I think according to general knowledge, rape is just any sexual interaction which does not involve consent. If a verbal or a written yes is not given before, during, and afterwards, then it is considered rape.
Yeah.
Yes.
What about the side effects? What is that thing it does to you mentally? Let's even not talk about the physical aspect of rape.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the mental aspect of rape. Like, what are the side effects of rape?
Unfortunately, the side effects of rape basically vary per person, but some that I can list off the top of my head are anxiety, depression, emotional stress, recurring nightmares, dreams, health complications. Like the list goes on and on.
It literally goes on.
It does, and it's definitely not something that's
it
good.
differs in the individual.
Yeah, it varies.
Why it might be a long-term thing.
Yeah.
And then it involves a lot of counseling, a lot
Yes,
of
it does.
therapies to actually come off it and then, to live a normal life again. I feel
Yeah.
it's something that
Some people really never get over it.
that's the thing.
They just have to work with it and around the fact that they have been through such a traumatic experience.
And then there's a society norm. That
Yeah.
people have faced. You know the way that they tend to taint people.
Yes.
Especially when you feel okay, yeah, you want to come off, and you want to be open to perhaps your friends, your
Yeah.
partners, or something.
Yes.
And then you feel okay, yeah, let me share my experience with you, and then let's just generalize and talk about the aftermath of actually sharing your views with someone, sharing
Okay.
your experience.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the way it taints you.
Okay.
And then it's not actually a lot of people that's going to like appreciate the fact that you were open.
Okay.
And then while some people may not even do it to your face, they can literally go behind you, and then
Okay.
you notice some sort of withdrawal
Yeah.
from their relationship towards you.
That's
Let's
true.
talk about that. Why do they stigmatize
I
rape
think
survivors?
I think personally it's a very, very, very horrible thing to do, to judge someone based off of their own experiences.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like anyone wants to be raped or be sexually violated by somebody. So I see no reason why you should stigmatize them and say, oh, this has happened to you, so to speak. Oh, you've been tainted. What like, did I choose to be, in quotes, tainted? How does that even taint me? Like, how does that make me any less of a person?
Yeah. And then the sad part of rape is that it can literally come from anybody.
Yeah.
It doesn't seclude some part of people and be like, okay, these are the set of people that do this. It can even be as brutal as coming from your family member.
Yes, most definitely.
Literally, and then
Some cases happen with close family members, uncles, fathers.
and then the
list goes on.
ability, the comfort to actually come out
Yeah.
to talk about it. There's a fear
Yes.
of actually talking about it.
Yes.
There's a fear of talking about it and being believed.
Yes, actually, most people are not believed.
Come out and be like, okay, this happened to me. And then it's another thing to be like, if I tell them this happened, will they actually believe me?
That's true.
Will they ask for facts? Will they ask for when? It could literally even be something that's
Yeah.
happened in the years back, and then you feel like, okay, yeah, I'm comfortable to talk about this now.
Yes.
But then you're like, we did not say because it has happened a long time. Why am I just talking about it now?
There are many instances of
Literally
that.
do need to, like,
Why are you coming
that
out
away.
now? How long is that? How come it has taken you so long? You can't put a time on how long it takes for people to heal from a particular trauma, and they might not even have healed enough to even talk about such an
Yeah,
experience.
because it's not easy. It's not easy
Yeah.
at all. So actually, because that's like giving a part of you away. I
It
feel
is.
that's considered giving
And a part of you was taken away. So to even discuss it, you're reliving the event over and over again. And people don't just understand. It isn't just coming out to say, oh, this happened to me. Like, people say, why didn't you just come out and or why didn't you come when it happened? Like, do you know the mental state someone is in after they've been violated sexually? The effect it takes on their body, their mental state. It's not something to
it's a lot. It's
take
really
lightly.
a lot.
Yes.
But anyways, before we delve deep into this, let's educate ourselves about date rape rules.
Yeah.
I feel that's something that literally
Yes,
every female
actually.
should know. And then before we proceed, actually, I just want to cite a scenario. This is really, really common.
Yeah.
Especially when you are at a friend's place,
Yeah. Or
or
a
you're at
party.
a function, anywhere. In as much as you have a drink, perhaps you leave the table to go to the restroom,
Yes.
or you just leave the table for whatsoever reason.
Yeah.
Once you're coming back to the table, please have it at the back of your mind that you're not coming back to that drink.
Yes.
You are not really coming
It's
back to
definitely
that drink.
something.
It's a different thing if you're actually with girls.
Even if you're with girls, actually, yes, that girls plan, they team up with guys to
There's a lot to it.
very
actually.
sick
Let's
thing.
just have this belief that you're not coming back to that drink.
Yes.
In other words, you didn't go with your drink. Have that picture that drink you're coming back to
Yeah.
is no longer yours.
That's true.
Okay, date rape drugs are literally drugs that people slip into drinks
Yes.
to make you just unaware of your surroundings. It makes you feel so selfless. You're not in your element anymore. and then you can literally be taken advantage of with date rape drugs.
Yes.
So I think that's an aspect we really, really do need to educate ourselves on. Now, let's talk about what to do in situations of rape. The right thing to do in situations of rape. And medically, the most advisable thing to do, first off, I know it may come as a lot, but you really do need to pull yourself together to leave that scene first. Yeah, that's the first thing you should do.
Yes.
And then the don'ts of the matter is that whatever clothes you're putting on, whatever, anything that's on you shouldn't be touched. You shouldn't comb your hair, you shouldn't brush your hair, whatever. Just go to the nearest hospital that way. Report to whoever you find at the counter. There's something called a rape kit at any hospital. That's what the doctor is going to use to treat you and of course to take evidence. So once you get there, they're going to strip you of everything and then take proper care of you. And they are going to actually call the regular authorities. They're going to do the necessary
and then discuss the event.
But one thing you should always take note of, even when you are in a situation like that, advise it that you must not change anything on your body. You must literally just leave everything intact because every little piece is an evidence.
Yes.
So let's talk about actually how the aftermath of sexual violence. The aftermath of violence actually.
The aftermath of violence. So okay.
How?
So the first thing that you should know is that what has happened to you is in no way your fault. There is no justification for being taken advantage of by anyone, be it a close person or a stranger. There is nothing that justifies that. So coming out of something like that, you have to first of all seek counseling. I know it's not something that Nigerians always shy away from. I don't need to see a therapist. If you hear therapist now, they'll say, I'm not crazy now, why do I need to see a therapist? But these are skilled professionals who would help you get through your emotions and help you live life as normal as it can be after such a traumatic experience. And the thing that you should also remember is that sometimes when we go through traumatic experiences, we shove them deep down. The best way is to go through them, acknowledge that this has happened. It was a horrible thing, which is obviously unjustifiable, but you have to work through that, work through the pain, work through the struggle. Every day you will getting better, but you just have to work through it. So also you have to surround yourself with people who love and care about you, not people who are going to judge you or constantly remind you of the trauma that you have faced. That is very, very important in ensuring that your mental health is still intact and you're able to overcome the trauma that you have gone through. Yes.
So thank you very much.
Thank
now
you.
Let's go to the next one, the next phase of it, which is the female genital mutilation.
Yes.
So I feel particular about this topic because this is a tradition that has literally been ongoing for 1,000 years, of which the origin is still quite unknown. Anyway, and then it's still a very big practice to some. And while there are some legislative laws, but there's some laid down rules against it, some people still do it underground. And I feel it's something that we really do need to know, something we really do need to talk about, and something that we really do actually need to familiarize ourselves and know that it is really, really, really another form of violence.
Yes.
So what is female genital mutilation? When you hear that the word genitals, it comes to the female reproductive organ. And now let's talk about how and ways that these can actually be mutilated. Now, female genital mutilation means that that's the partial or total removal of the clitoris, the labia minora, and the labia majora in females. And then this, while it may be frowned upon by many, some literally do consider it as a norm. And let's talk about why do people do this. I feel one thing that people believe is that this is a rite of passage to women. Why would you even think this is a rite of passage? Like, what kind of idea is that?
I think it's a very barbaric and very, it's a very inhumane thing.
How would you do that?
It's an inhumane practice.
And then
a rite of passage. Passage to what?
To what? Why would you say that?
Passage to womanhood. Does that
You're
make you a
telling me
woman?
that if you don't do that, she's not going to become a woman.
I don't
Or she's
understand.
going to be less of a woman when you do that.
It's very sick, the things
And then,
that people do
of
and
course,
call
there's
tradition.
the other part of it that they say that it suppresses a woman's sex.
Yes, actually, what they say is,
literally laugh when I
you
hear
know, the part of our body that are respond to certain sexual
Orgies, right?
yes. So if someone you like or someone you consent to actually touches you, your body responds to that touch. Do you understand? So what they're trying to do is dull the senses, those sexual senses, which happens when people touch you. They feel it's a form of sexual abstinence on your part, like it will stop you from engaging in such practices. If someone touches you and you're not even feeling turned on, or it's not even doing anything to your body, so you're like, that's a way of making sure that you don't partake in sexual activities.
Okay, wow. Anyways, let us look at how it is done.
Yeah.
There are actually 4 types of female genital mutilation.
Yes.
And then I think the higher we go,
Yes.
the more it becomes, how would I put it? It becomes much more strong. Like it's very
Yes.
And the first
You
time,
get very upset when you
that's
hear
the
about
word.
it.
I'm
Actually,
literally
you
looking
can't
for the word.
hold yourself when you just
Like,
think
oh,
about
is this real?
you are doing this to someone. You strap the fact that you even have to strap them down and actually perform these things on
Do you know
them.
that literally,
You know what you're taking from them.
It is literally, it happens to females that some people do it from birth, and then some it literally takes from birth to 15 years.
Yes.
And why some may delay it until when the lady is in her puberty, that's when they want to do this act on her. Some people literally do it right from birth, and then the idea from birth is that the baby is still young, she's not going to feel the pain,
she
and
won't
then she's
feel
just going to grow up. And then some people wait till she's fully matured to actually do that. Now, anyways, let's look at the 4 types. There's a type 1. The type 1 is either the partial or total removal of the clitoris.
Jesus.
I
just, honestly, I can't.
It's not
I can't.
funny, but
it's actually not.
At the same time, it's just it's much. That's what I'm going to use.
It's just because you can only laugh through it, because you're just like, how can people even do this to a human being?
Sit down and think this is what I want to do.
And this, you actually you have it in your mind that this is actually the right way to go. This is the right thing to do. When you look at a female child, you say this is the only way, out of all the ways that you can help a female child, this is the way that you can help them and ensure. Like, I don't understand.
Until you hear the rest.
Okay.
That's just type 1.
Let me just calm down.
And then the second type of this mutilation is either the partial or total removal of the labia minora, the labia majora, and the clitoris.
3 of them.
3 important tissues
in the female genital.
Yeah, that's either the partial. Some people just do it partially, some do it totally. They literally do remove everything. And then there's the part 3, the type 3. This is either the partial sewing or tightening of the vagina area, and of course the removal of the clitoris. And yes, you heard me right. Some people literally do go ahead to tighten the vagina area because they believe when that particular passage is not so big, it's like maybe at that time you're just maturing, and then the higher you go, the wider it becomes.
That's
like,
very.
what is that?
What
is that?
People's train of thought sometimes it baffles me. Honestly, it's quite baffling. Like, to think that someone will actually sit down and be like, "Wow, this is the way."
I know. I can relate.
I'm actually dumbfounded.
And of course, there's a type 4. This literally means any other sort of harmful practice done to that area.
Yeah.
That's a type 4.
Very sick.
It's not just even sickening, and then it has a lot of side effects.
Yeah.
So just give us a few of the side effects.
Like, some of the side effects, of course, they're quite similar to the side effects I mentioned earlier for side effects of rape, because but with more health complications, because you're dealing with the genitalia. You are doing things to it which is not meant to even be done. Because you're removing parts, tissues, you're just scarring the child for life. So aside from the emotional distress it can cause, post-traumatic stress disorder, it could even cause depression, it could cause anxiety, it could cause too many side effects to be mentioned.
The idea that this is literally, unfortunately, it is a very, very big disadvantage when a woman goes into labor.
Yeah, most definitely. That's right.
It literally leads to stillbirth. The woman can literally even die while
Bargaining.
laboring. Like, there's a lot to female genital mutilation.
Yes.
And I feel we can just talk about it basically. But then, personally,
Yes.
our orientation henceforth is to put a stop to this practice.
Most definitely.
Is to put, if you know someone who is into this practice, you can literally just talk to them.
Talk
Let
to them about
know
what?
the dangers.
Don't talk to them. Report them.
I'm
Who?
sure some people do come around when you make them see reason.
Wait, make serious. Why would you even get to that point where I should even make you see reason? Report them.
No.
Report these
It's
people.
okay.
Honestly.
Report them.
Yes,
Like
report
you said.
them. What reason are they seeing?
Nice.
For someone to even think that it's okay to do such a thing to a little child, for God's sake. Between the ages of 0 to 15, you think it is all right to do this. They need to be reported to the authorities,
Because
and they need to go for a psychological evaluation,
I know,
because that's
right?
not normal.
There is that. And then the biggest orientation we can literally do is to raise awareness.
Most definitely.
While some people see this as a form of violence,
Yeah.
some do see it as a norm. I think that's where
That's-
our duty lies.
Yes.
That's the beginning of our duty.
That's how I can take care of my child.
It's literally raise awareness against this female genital mutilation.
Yes.
And then, of course, there's this idea that when people stop, especially at the rural areas,
Yeah.
when people stop this female genital mutilation, they feel that they are going to be outcasted amongst others in
Yeah.
the community. I think that mentality should stop.
Actually,
In
it
as much as
should.
you are protecting your child,
Yes.
your girl child for that matter, every other thing shouldn't matter. Like, that's like, the saying that goes that when you raise a girl,
Yeah.
you literally
Raise
raise
a
a
home.
nation.
Yeah, raise
So
a
I feel if you have that mindset,
Yes.
any other thing that you stand against, in as much as it's the right thing
Yes.
against a girl child, shouldn't even seem as a big deal to you.
Yeah, it should come, like, you should actually fight against it. Like, it should come naturally to you to
Come
fight
naturally
against
to
it.
you.
It's not like, oh, I'm holding my tongue, it's none of my business. It is your business. It actually is your business, because you have the knowledge that something like this is going on. It is affecting the child, the life of another human being, and you are keeping quiet about it. You have a duty.
Yeah. That's
To
where
speak
our
up.
That's it. Speak up. Even if you do know someone really close to you that's into this pattern, you're like, if I speak up against them, they may literally go against me. Please do it for the sake of that child.
You can do it anonymously. They don't have to know
That's the
it.
thing. Thank God there is now that sort of technology now where you can actually even
Yes.
be anonymous.
Yes.
If you feel it's going to be too much for you to handle, just coming out openly.
Yes, and
Do it
being, yes,
anonymously.
most definitely.
Nobody will be able to trace it to you. In as much as you spoke up, you did the right thing. I feel that is literally the most important thing.
Yes, it
And then,
is.
thank God, one of the agendas of the United Nations
Okay.
against 2030 is to
Wow.
literally eradicate female genital
The
mutilation.
fact that it is even still in practice is actually a shock to me. And it's
too much.
appalling.
It's appalling. That's the word.
It really
It
is.
really appalling. And I think that's something that we really, really do need to take in.
Yes.
Because some people literally think about it and then they brush it aside. Don't brush it under the rug. don't
Yes.
do that. Just
Actually,
because it's not much of a
That
big
makes you
deal to
culpable
you,
because you're aware that it is happening and you're
Yeah.
just choosing not to do
just
anything
be
about it
unbothered.
because it doesn't affect you. And that's a very big problem
Yeah.
that most people have. You see an issue, you don't want to talk about it or address it or even find out how exactly you can put a stop to it because it doesn't directly affect you, but it affects another child who can in one way or the other be in contact with you or somebody that you know. So why would you want to even sit back and allow such a thing to go by? Why?
It's really been a fun and an enlightening conversation.
Most definitely.
And then I just want to say thank you all for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for your attention.
Thank you.
And then we hope to see you soon against
Soon.
our next show. Of
Yes.
which you would like to talk about this one because we were really able to talk about two different areas.
Yes.
We would love to talk about this
Wow.
even further.
Yes.
And then to join our female community, what you have to do is to send a DM to
Yes.
100 Women.
Yes.
We would be happy to have you with us. We have a lot in stock for you. We hope to see you then. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.